Okay, guys, let's get right into it. So as you can see, I'm wearing my gloves. Very important. I've got my movement out. All our parts are going to ship in Petri dishes that are labeled in watch paper, but I've gone ahead and taken everything out so we can start working with them. If this is the first watch you've ever put together, or the first time you've ever worked with a movement, I kind of recommend you watch through all these videos and then get started. But before you start touching anything, put on your gloves, and I'm going to go over quickly the features of the 8215 movement that is shipped in your kit and how you're supposed to handle it. And handling it is key. So I recommend holding it from the sides. You can kind of grab it by the crown stem, but I would hold it from the sides. If you're wearing gloves, you can lay it down flat. The movement has the pinions on this side. It does have a date wheel. The 8215 has a 42-hour power reserve. It's 21,600 beats per hour. It is an automatic winding movement. There's our spinning rotor in the back. It winds in one direction, and that is marked by the arrow here. So it winds this way, not this way. The most important thing about handling a movement is not touching the balance wheel, not touching the hairspring. The balance is really, it's the brain of your watch. It's regulating the release of the mainspring. You know, as you wind up the watch, the mainspring releases. The balance side of the watch releases that energy in a regulated way so the watch tells time. And touching, altering the way that balance wheel moves, it's going to be the easiest way of damaging the watch. The second easiest thing you can do is lay it down on the pinions for your hands. So when you're working with the movement, if you're going to lay it down on a surface, lay it down rotor side. The 8215 does have a date wheel. We've elected to cover the date wheel with our dial because the date wheel kind of makes the installation a little more complicated, and we wanted it to be a little bit more easy, knowing that beginners and first timers might be doing this. So I took away the date wheel also because I felt the dial looked more clean without a date window on it. So that is gone. It is not part of, it's not something you have to concern yourself with. The initial position, or the pushed in position of the crown, is the winding position. So if I turn that clockwise, if I turn the crown clockwise, we are winding the movement. If I pull it out to the next position and turn the crown counterclockwise, this is position 2, we are altering the date, changing the date. If I pull it out to the third position, that is the time setting position. This is a hand winding movement. It is not a hacking movement. And for those that do not know what hacking means, hacking just means when you pull the crown out to the time setting position, the second hand stops. On this movement, the second hand will not stop when you are in the time setting position. So I'm going to push this movement back in to the winding position. And for the rest of the build, that's the way we're going to work with it. So get out your gloves and let's get to it.